Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. Hello. Danny here, back from a waterfall trip in Oregon. Yay! Went to go see the Oregon Ducks. No, I didn't. Say hello to Psychic Duck, everybody. He did not go see my relatives. No, I didn't. So, how'd you like it here all by yourself? I loved it. Had a little party. Really? All my fine feathered friends came. All right. Fine feathered friends. Okie dokie. So, third time I'm doing this because I keep pushing the wrong button. I forgot how to do a video. So, I am going to recreate the first 3 cards that I made and just the energy spread of this. It was a good ramble that I had. A lot of and no cards. So let's start it off. I was up in Oregon. I came through Shasta, and some of the messages that I was getting, I didn't get to meditate as much as I wanted to on this trip. I was still being bombarded with bits of news that wouldn't escape the confines of my skull. And even though a lot of my input was limited, it didn't have any TV, didn't have any radio, so I wasn't getting the news. But on the way up, I did hear about how we're poisoning the planet with glyphosate, and I couldn't get that out of my head. I'm going, what are we doing to the planet? What are we doing? The planet's going to be okay. It's us that's not going to be okay. In one of my incarnation videos, first one I put up, we had an opossum walk in front of my window. It's daytime. I'm like, that's not good. He's probably poisoned. I hope not. But when I was hanging out yesterday in my driveway, a couple of neighbors came around, and I'm looking at all the people who have had hip replacement, shoulder replacement. They're in chemo. This one guy brought his dog over. The dog has cancer and is on his way out. It's like, what are we doing to our planet? Where's the clean living? Where's the clean water? And Pumpkinhead and his administration are shutting all of the science down. And I mean, I am fully aware that we should question things, but it was just really hard to let go of some of this stuff that we're doing to the planet for me. On the way back, I got a whole big dose of hopium, and I'm like, we got this if we want it. We got it if we want it. So let's get into the 3 cards I pulled using my Beyond Lemuria deck for the energy that Mount Shasta wanted me to hear that maybe I wasn't able to hear so clearly because I was with a lot of people. I wasn't by myself. Not a lot of people, with my wife and my brother. And our alien dog, Piccolina. That dog's getting to be a pretty good camping dog. Still a yapper, nonetheless. Where are we going? What does Mount Shasta wanted to tell me that I was not listening to? The energy, the Lemurian energy of Shasta. First card I get is freedom. And I love the dragonfly aspect of this. The ability to transform and transmute and shift vibrationally. So when I've done journeys with dragonfly energy, they are always phenomenal. So I encourage you guys, go take a journey, do a dragonfly journey. The second card that they wanted me to add to this energy of transformation and shifting vibrational patterns was fire. And this is the Solaris Sublime. And I went to look in the book as to what Solaris Sublime, what they meant by that term. I have to dig a little deeper. But what this is a shift. This is a Kundalini energy awakening, a balancing of two different things, two different, here we have two different dragon energies coming together. So as I am thinking of where we are on our planet with poison is good for the planet, poison is bad for the planet. Because that's what I was thinking. I go, how can we think that poison is good? How can the U.S. Forest Service, I'm talking about Paradise, California, where they had these huge fires, and the Forest Service says, well, we need to clear the undergrowth of the forest so we don't have these devastating wildfires. So they're going to use glyphosate and Roundup that gives cancer, kills. And some people go, oh no, if you use it correctly. And I'm like, do some research on it. You cannot use this correctly. It's, well, the biased research that I did. And of course, I've talked about this before. My sister-in-law died from glyphosate cancer. So those who jump down my throat on this, don't. The other thing too that Canada does, they bring a bunch of work people. They bring crews in to clear the undergrowth. Hey, what a novel idea. Jobs out in forest. Yeah, that's good. Now let's just spray glyphosate. Now, we are in this shift. We're in this new Kundalini energy. We are in a vibrational shift, and we are in a balancing shift. And the next card I get, the third card I get, is air. And this is a paradigm shift. This is, for me, my direction of east, where eagle, condor takes us to places we've never imagined possible. Heights we've never imagined that we could go to. We can go to. We have the freedom if we want to do the work. All right, so let's get back to some of the original readings. So what do we do? How do we help this shift? We see all this stuff going on. The very first thing that I think that we should do is call our representatives. Say, this isn't good. Pick a topic. You can use the 5 Calls app that'll give you topics, or you can pick some topics here. U.S. Forest Service should not be using glyphosate or poisons to kill plants. Maybe you don't like Christy Nome still in the Coast Guard Admiral's home, living free rent. She's been fired. Why is she still there? Call your rep. Why is she still there? Why are we still paying for her housing? Let's talk about the grift of 45, F45, and his sons and cronies and son-in-law. And where in the hell is Jared? Not Jared. Hunter Biden's laptop. That joke just went flat when I him and haw. All the cronyism, all the theft. Where's Hunter Biden's laptop? Okay. Let's talk about Iran. Call your reps. Do you like the war? Do you like how we're supporting Ukraine? We're not. What about, and we already talked about the environment, some hopium, but here's where the hopium comes in. On my way back, the hopium that came in was listening to Graham Platner on John Stewart. Graham Platner is ex-Marine, four-tour Marine, Afghanistan, Iraq. He knows about war. He reads a lot of history books. And he did get a drunken tattoo that he goes, I don't know. And people are going, it's a Nazi symbol. And I went, ooh, really? I'm going to go look at it. And when I looked at it, it already showed that he had covered it up. And so I had to dig a little deeper for what this symbol was, and it's called the Totenkopf. And when I looked at it, it's like a skull. It's kind of like skull and crossbones. But it was meant in, Germany took it and they twisted it, made it really, really ugly against the Jewish people. But it was also looked like, to me, a Jolly Rogers, like a skull and crossbones, like the pirates, like Arg. And being a water guy, well, I used to fly a Jolly Rogers on my boat. Anyway, so he says he got this tattoo when he was in the Marines with all this male alpha energy going, hoo, hoo, let's get drunk and go get a tattoo. I've been there, done that. Although they wouldn't let me get the tattoo. They said, you can't be drunk. I'm like, what? So I got a tattoo when I got my captain's license. And me and my buddy, we both got our license together. And we said, when we get this, because it took us a long time, when we get this ticket, let's go down to San Pedro, get drunk, and get a tattoo of an anchor. That didn't happen because they wouldn't let us. Laws, regulations. You can't be drunk and get a tattoo. Anyway, Graham did, and he goes, oh, well, I didn't really know that it was that. You know, he thought it was just an ugly tattoo that Marines get. I mean, look at Kegseth's tattoos. Ew. So anyway, I want to look at Graham Platner. And the last time I did this, he had good cards. He had really crappy cards in the beginning. He had the Three of Swords and what was the other one? The Eight of Swords. So heartbreak, betrayal, restriction. But then all the other cards were really good. So he may have a rough start in the very beginning. Let's just throw some cards. Play along. How is Graham Platner in Maine going to do? He beat, who was that, Janet Mills? She dropped out. She was the ex-governor. I hope I got that name right. And Chuck Schumer said, Janet, run. We need you in there. We don't want this Platner guy to win because he's out of control. Platner says he doesn't like Schumer. As the head of the Senate. Bernie likes him, very progressive. And what I like about this Graham guy is he reads a lot of history books. He studies history. I'm going, this is like Heather Cox Richardson. So they go, oh yeah, he's just an oyster farmer. He's a pretty damn smart oyster farmer. Okay. Glenn. 3 cards, because I already threw on you. Knight of Cups. Are you the knight in shining armor? There is no knight in shining armor. It's us doing hard work. We are the knight in shining armor. We have to do the work. Ooh. King of Swords. And the Hermit. Wow. Interesting. Graham Platner. Bringing in a calming energy. The King of Swords. Is that his Marine training? Kind of think so. And then the Hermit card. And I think this is all about him getting out on his boat and being with the water and shining a light on what needs to be done. Very cool. Now, I may be just reading a lot of hopium in that. Does this mean he's isolated and he didn't win? I don't think so. I think that he is going to be like a Bernie and an AOC, very progressive, and he's going to be on the outside shining a light of what needs to go on. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's my hopium. Let's look at Susan Collins and what that energy is all about in this main race. Five of Swords, battling, winning at any cost. Okay? The Lovers, MAGA, is that what this is? I'm looking at this Five of Swords. I'm looking at his face. I never noticed this. He's got a scar over his eye. So I think Susan Collins is going to get, she's in for a good fight. When you look at the polling, Platner wins on this. New Truth. Ace of Swords. This is, you know, a success-ish card. Well, I don't know. They are, I think it's going to be, what is this Ace of Swords? Let's just keep going. I want to get a clarifier on this Ace of Swords. I'll do it also with the Hermit then. What is the clarifier for this Ace of Swords? A lot of people like her, I guess. But maybe they're switching. And they're coming to a realization of a new truth. The Emperor, okay. The Emperor wants her. Five of Coins, loss. So, this new truth is that she tied herself, MAGA, to the Emperor. And Five of Coins is a loss. She's going to be stabbed in the back. That's where I see the Susan Collins energy. Let's look at this Hermit energy for Graham Platner. What do we think of that? Ooh, Four of Swords. Retreat, rest, that's no good. Two of Swords. He sees the path. He sees clearly. It's not at a crossroads. He's like, you can go this way or that way. And then he's got the winning card here, Six of Wands. Yay. But this card scares me. Okay, he is going to have a fight on his hands. It's not going to go easy. He's going to have this kind of fight on his hands, and it looks like he's going to be knocked down. He's not. He's going to come out victorious. Excellent. Okay. The other thing, so yay, Graham Platner. Whew, just the energy, it's going to be wild. The other thing I wanted to, that gave me a lot of hope was Scott Jennings and, is his name Adam Mockler? I think he's 24 years old. Yeah, Adam Mockler. I think he's on the Bulwark podcast or something. So he's 24 years old. And he got into Scott Jennings' comfort zone. And just twisted him. And what I meant, no, it doesn't matter what I meant by comfort zone. But he got into Scott Jennings' head. Scott Jennings on live TV dropped the F-bomb. And Adam Mockler just owned the conversation. So what I want to look at, that just gave me a lot of hopium. Just leave it like that. Supreme Court, while I was away, gutted another voting right thing. But if the Democrats get their stuff together, the Democrats could redraw anywhere from 10 to 22 additional congressional seats for the party in time for the 2028 elections, if they get it together. Will this Scotus ruling benefit Democrats or Republicans? Now, I'm going to use the pentacles for Republicans, cups for Democrats. That's not really the way it works, though. Under Democratic rule, we have way better economy. So, but I'm going to still use those two. So I could use cups and wands, and pentacles and swords. Feels like more swords-ish, but that's what I'm using as I throw this. Okay. Is this going to backfire on the Republican plan to get more congressional seats? Who's going to benefit, Democrats or Republicans, in getting more congressional seats from this Scotus ruling? Wheel of Fortune. Hey, that's not a cup. It's not a sword. What is that? It's the Wheel of Fortune. Karmic. It's being challenged, covered by, enhanced by the Nine of Cups. We have, let me drop this down. We have the Chariot, the Lovers, moving on from MAGA in the past. We have a Tower moment. This is not going to go well for some people. It's like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And then we have the Four of Swords. So when I started this out, swords and pentacles were the Republicans, cups and wands were Democrats. We have major arcana, major, major, major. Moving on, driving this is the strength that is needed to move this Tower moment into the Wish card. We have MAGA with the Lovers falling sick. Okay, so I think they're going to be surprised. I think this is not going to work out the way they thought it was. The other thing too, even if they redraw all those maps, and I don't know if this is true, I think I'd have to ask somebody else, but if we just get more and more people to vote and go, oh hell no, you're not doing this, because there's a lot of people that just don't vote. All right, I don't want to go there. Where else are we going to? So one of the things too that I was looking at that was popping into my head is the economy is so crappy. We spent, I think, the highest we spent in gas was $6.40 a gallon. I'm like, dang, $6.40 a gallon. People go, yeah, the price of the gas, the cost of a gallon of gas is $4 something. I'm going, not here. And our roads are crappy out here in California. I mean, I'm really not happy with the gas tax that they put on us, because they say it's to fix the roads, but none of the roads get fixed. Remember when Biden was in office? For me, I felt so good about where the government was spending its money, generally speaking, into infrastructure, new things. Now, that's another thing I want to call my representative on. Why don't you ask us where we want our money spent? That'll give you guys a good direction on where to go. Okay. So the economy is tanking. We feel it. The stock market is rising. It's AI. They're mucking with the algorithms. People keep saying, well, that's a bubble. It's going to crash like the .com did. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Is it? That was early 90s, I think. I said, or is AI going to be able to keep that bubble afloat? So let's just ask, will AI be able to keep the stock market from crashing? And I know the stock market's not the economy, but it certainly gives the Republicans talking points. And it doesn't reflect our true economy. And it's gonna get worse, sir. Will AI be able to keep the stock market bubble afloat? Queen of Swords, let me drop this down. Will the AI stock bubble? They're using a lot of strength to keep it up. Ooh. The Eight of Swords, the restriction of it, it feels like they are restricting the free movement of the stock market. That's what I got when I pulled that. Ooh, that's a no. That's a no. That's what the stock market should be doing, tumbling. But in the past, they're going, cheers, we have the support. We got the stock market up. It's illusion, delusion with the stock market right now. And potential near future. Oh yeah, it's all good. Lovers, it's all good. We have the Four Cups, looking at an offer. Okay. Normally this is 3 cups that are spilt, but they're not looking at the base, at the data. They're looking at pie in the sky with this. We have the Four of Coins, restriction, not doing well, holding on to your wealth. Hopes and fears that it doesn't come super fast. And then we're on a new journey with the Queen of Cups and full illumination. So, will AI be able to prop this stock market up and keep it from crashing? That says no. That says it's all illusion, delusion. This is pie in the sky. This is hang on to your money in the external positions. Really hang on to it. The hopes and fears, the hope is that it won't happen really fast. The fear is that it will be a crash. It will be tumbling down. That's the hopes and fears. Either way, whatever happens, whatever we're marinating in this rebuilding, we're on a new journey with the Queen of Cups, full illumination, the Sun card. So, a new Democratic leader is going to lead us in the new journey that's not going to have a roadmap so much. And I'm hoping that the Democrats get their roadmap together so that they can hit the ground running with this. I mean, there was Project 2025. We need Project 2028. We need to get rid of one of the things that Graham Platner said, impeach 2 Supreme Court justices. Hell yeah, if not more. Impeach some other people. Well, let's just send the whole state of Georgia peaches in there and just impeach them all. That was, I know, Psychic Duck goes, that was the stupidest joke. Judgy, aren't you? Okay, one more, then I think I'm going to go. A couple more, just a little ramble. Kegseth was insulting our representatives by saying that if you ask questions about the war, you are the enemy within. I wonder how that sat with some of the Republican guys. And so it's all this fascism that they're kind of throwing at us, the administration anyway. He wants $1.5 trillion in new defense spending, so we can build new bombs and jets and warships. Meanwhile, China is making cardboard drones to fight against our really expensive weapons. Yeah, that's me giving you side eye. Really? Really? Okay, let's, the other thing that they're doing is fiber optic drones. Well, I'm going, how do they do that? And somebody explained it to me. You have a fiber optic cable that's like 20 kilometers long. And so what that does is that it prevents any radio wave jamming, because we can jam drones with radio waves. But if it's fiber optic, you can't jam them with today's technology. They haven't thought of it yet. China may. The US hasn't, because we are laggards. So, speaking of laggards, Todd Blanche. Oh my gosh. So we got 2 Comey newses. Maureen Comey is suing the Department of Justice or the administration over her firing. And Trump said, I get to fire anybody under Article 2 of the Constitution. And she's challenging that. And so there's going to be discovery. Who got fired under that clause? And what's going to happen with that? That's going to be interesting. Maureen Comey's, she's pretty smart. The other one was 8647 in seashells. Didn't she sell seashells by the seashore? He was just taking a look at what the woman was selling. What the hell? I'm going to leave it on that because it's just a what the hell moment. All right. Hey, should we look at real quick the Iran leader dead? And where is the pilot that they rescued? Not the pilot, the second airman that they rescued. Why isn't he out being paraded around? Yeah, we know why. So, is Iran's leadership let's just look at short-term Iran's leadership. Because I've heard twice that the guy that took over the sun, that he was injured during the attack, the initial one, I guess. And I heard twice since I've been back that he may have passed on. Ten of Cups. So a 10 is a completion card. He could be in what he calls as the other world happy place. 8 of Coins, the World card, Justice, the Empress. Wow. And the 9 of Wands. Has he passed on? Here's the World. Here is the Abundance. I think he might have. I think he's in the Abundance place. He was marinating in the World. In the past, he has his Justice. I think he's still going through some review process with this. He will end up in a good place, it feels like. We all will. Well, okay. I take that back. Maybe we all... Kidding. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you all for being here. Thank you. That's all I got to say. Psychic Duck, anything you got to say? Yeah. One more thing. What's that? Peace and love. All right, peace and love. Ringo Starr's going to be playing in his all-star band. Is going to be playing up in Paso Robles coming up. Ringo Starr still going at it. Isn't that great? All right, peace and love.